You can never date someone for more than 10 years and you do not see a future with him. So now, if your man wants you, he should state his intentions. I think 3 years or 4 years into the relationship, son of these stay-at-home girlfriends turns into borrowed wives. If a man wants you to be his and wants you in his space, he will put a ring on it. The cows will go moo on your gate. The woman will say li 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 and will be happy for you.
Yes.
Igama lami ndingu-Abulele Msutwana, ndihlala Crossroads, Boys Town. I am 23 years of age. I'm turning 23 in August, and I'm a trained community listener from Breaking Beliefs. We offer safe spaces to young and adult people in the communities about offloader. Their problems, their issues, we listen to them, we offer them an ear. I aspire to be a psychologist one day, and I believe that the work that I'm currently doing is a push in the right direction that I want to take.
Okay, lo uthethayo nguTaayla, igama nguAyanda Mgudlo, but abantu abaninzi bandazi Ayanda Malusi. Mna I'm a community listener also, ezobe sitsho siswam sebenza naye. Into esenzayo kumamela i-community, so umuntu uthi gqine engxaki zakhe kuthi, but make sure ukuthi uphume phashasha. Yeah, so yeah, andizudwela on much on it because usisihlelo seyithethile ngayo. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. So thanks a lot for sharing who you are, or maybe introducing yourself. So as community listeners, we understand that you are operating at a community that has a lot of violence and a lot of negative energy, right? So what are the challenges that you face as a community listener? One, so that we can really understand, is it easy to just go door to door and just say, hey, I'm here to listen to your problems, or is it just easy peasy?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Njengoba nami ndi-community listener, and you remember now ndiphuma kwi-community, so like I'm also from the community and that's where I grew up, so they know me. Like when they say they know me. Yeah, and also, growing up in the community, like you grow up now pedestal sensors on and that. Yeah, so now I come as a community listener. Didn't zokumamela ingxaki zakho ngizothini, and now abantu sesibendazi, like they are starting to be like, oi, last week you did that and that, last year you did that and that, yabo, because nam ndingumuntu as a community listener ndizenzile mistake nditheni. So now abantu, I think iyasebenza for bona because now they feel free like to share ingxaki zabo because they know but Ayla grew up naye apha elokishini and uselapha elokishini, he will relate, also understand, yabo, and probably nam ndike ndahamba le nto, yabo, ndike ndahamba le ndlela bayihambileyo. So I think it's an easy thing kwabanye, but kwabanye they will entertain you because they know, but okay, past that, because it's not good. So for me, I would say, hey, 50-50. But yeah, so yeah.
Now from my side, it's been quite challenging. Abantu can be a bit skeptical, especially when beyazi ba awukho trained in that field. So now when I come around abantu and say this introduce, no, mna ndiphakela Breaking Beliefs, I'm a community listener. Umuntu vele abuza ba like uyi-social worker ke ngoku. And then when I try to explain to them, but no, andiyi social worker, but with the resources that I have, ndiyakwazi mna if ingxaki yakho is too big for me to handle, ndiyigqithisele to abantu who can give you like better help. So kumba baqale babe skeptical, but when I explain to them and ndibacacisele, what was the reason behind us starting the community listener in the first place, baye ba understand it, because we live in societies as well now where there's violence, there's drugs, there's suicide. So abantu abatsha ababinaye laa mntu like bamthembayo womamela. So when you guarantee abantu confidentiality, no, I promise you, in the city is over confidential, then umntu can let their guard down athethe, because ekugqibeleni you are trying to minimize the risks of suicide, abantu bazibulale ngenxa yoba bebhodlishe up kakhulu. So yeah, it's been quite challenging, but we will get there eventually. Abantu bazothi bayiqhele and they'll be accepting of it.
Yes. Problem that I always face is I think it's always about finance. When it comes to finance, most of the guys who come to me are guys like who drop Uber, Marketplace, and Facebook, what market, yeah. So they busy doing the stuff. So that's the only thing they always complain about is like finance. They say like no one's employed at home, so he's gotta make a move. He's gotta do something. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
so yeah, that's the common problem I always face. Yeah.
From my side, it's mostly alcoholism and abuse. I encounter a lot of people who are in abusive relationships, and alcohol being the main reason for the abuse to transpire in the relationship. So for now, I think that's what's currently like holding my community for now. I think that people have lost hope in humanity. They do not understand that Ubuntu is something that still exists. Yeah, but we have not gone back to our roots and remembered who we are. So we are mostly tend to focus on the things that distract us, which is utywala in this instance, and we neglect the children because it's how we've been raised. Nati, you go into a home and then you find that the mother is unemployed with 4 or 5 mouths to feed, but then due to the stresses that she faces on a day-to-day, being unemployed, for example, unemployment is taking a toll on her. So each time she drinks, she finds a relief in that. So nabantwana ke they're growing to kulaa nto yoba my mother was a drinker, so I might as well, because I have no future, I have no hope that maybe one day I'll be in a better place than I currently am right now. So they don't have hope for me. And it's such a shame. And but in Denzekayo, some of these children don't even have birth certificates. They don't even have IDs. Omni is mhlambi 12 years, but they have never went to school. So those are the kind of things that need ubazijongisiswe zinikwe imehlo from my side.
Yeah, and yeah, there is most of them, like what they've told me is that the reason why they believe that the reason why their parents, they like there's no one working at home is because if you like you're looking at KFC and McDonald's, they always employ like foreigners. Yeah, so now the guys like they got angry, like they so furious, like that's why they started like robbing Uber, because they found out, okay, those foreigners guys now they specialize on Uber and Bolt, so they started like robbing Uber that way, and now it's their daily thing. Yeah, well, so now I think the reason why they're robbing Uber, the drive, is because like there's that anger, like there's that anger, and it's based on foreigners, because foreigners come this side and they accept. You like they say they'll pay foreigners 800. Foreigners will accept, but we know like we got rights. 1,000 is a 1,000, must pay 1,000. Don't give me 800. Yeah, well, so yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
But I do also think it's a matter of them projecting their insecurities to the
Yes.
foreigners.
No, yeah.
Because now if you would settle for that 800 rands, it would put so much difference in your life than go uyoriska life and rob someone, because that's a win and lose situation. What if like the person that you're trying to rob has a gun and it's your first time now, we are gala, but you're trying, and then you get killed for something that you could have avoided. So now where they are projecting their insecurities or their fears into these foreigners.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lelo, that's so true, because even the money, when the chance, like when I say like I know guys who rob Uber, I'm talking about like maybe guys I grew up with and guys I stay with most of the time when I'm not at work. Those guys, like they rob Uber, they get the money, but they still waste it. They use it on alcohol, drugs. When I'm saying drugs, I mean drugs, alcohol, women.
So now it's actually no longer
It's
a matter
no longer,
of being
yes,
poor. It's a matter of trying to finance or fund a lifestyle that you know that you can't afford.
Yes. Some adults, like some adults, they try to prevent it, but the young adults, like they promote it, because they come to the chance and be like, hey Ndwana, let's go do this, there's a mission, there's a job I have for you, you only have to do this and this and this. Yeah, well, and we break into this house and there's a gun. This gun, I know you've always wanted a gun. I know you like guns, Joanna. I will give you that one. Just come, yeah, bro. So that's how like that's how the gents, the young ones start like to have to own guns. Like they start doing like, is it called house robbery? Yeah, house robbery. So yeah, that's how they get them.
Yeah, I think the adults aren't adulting the way that they are supposed to. Because for the mere fact that children look up to you for crime, it should say a lot to you. Like, that's when, as an older person, you should sit and introspect. Is this the life that I've wanted to live? Imagine being a role model in crime and not being a role model in good things. Imagine if those older brothers of ours actually changed and tried to mentor these young kids into doing good things, bafake like in sports, benze izinto that are gonna uplift the community, but instead now they're adding to the crime rates that are already there ngabo. So the adults for me aren't adulting the way that they're supposed to. Now I've seen a story where a mother, this one is it shook me. It shook me. The mother knew that her daughter was molested, and she fell pregnant by this molester, and the mother kept it a secret, and she covered it up and didn't offer the child support. But then when the child eventually, like the baby grew, the lady that was victimized started hating on her child because it was a child that she didn't feel comfortable in having. She wasn't ready for that child. It wasn't a planned child. But then their mother didn't give her support during that time. So we saw how it caused friction in the family. And I feel like they needed someone who could mediate and sit with them, both of them down, and let them address the issues, because the mother was being prideful. She didn't accept how her grandchild came about, and she didn't want her daughter to even speak of it. So I think if they had a mediator, someone who was going to sit with them down and talk to them properly, it would have made a difference. But unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't working as a community listener, so I couldn't involve myself in it. But I remember it hurt me, like, for I think a couple of days. Like, it was in my mind, because I couldn't understand how could a parent force their own daughter to hide something like this, because like it trauma and it's not something that you can wake up and then decide, I have forgotten about it. And especially when there's a child involved, because the child is a reminder of what happened to her. So for me, it was really a shocker. And I believe that mhlawumbi ngoku, if I could be given the chance, I could like implement the things and the values that I've been taught, breaking beliefs, payana, and be that mediator. But then I'm just a child. So I hope that someday they get the healing that they both need, and they can move forward. Being a community listener takes its toll on you as an individual, because remember, we are not qualified psychologists or social workers. So encountering problems that are this difficult leaves a wound, because especially when in situations that you know but you can't assist when personally, it needs like a bigger intervention. Yeah, well, so it takes a toll, and I know personally that I'm not strong mentally and emotionally. I know for a fact I'm a big crybaby. So holding my emotions in check when I'm listening to someone sharing their stories takes a lot. So I personally would refer them to a person that I could also go to, a person that I trust. In we have social workers in our teams, qualified social workers. So I am allowed to take a case that I feel like it needs like a proper psychological help, a proper mental help. These to my mentors, and then they can get hold of a social worker, someone that is related to the problem that I'm currently facing. If mhlawumbi who was involved in a crime and they were given a weapon, they can for their safety reasons go to the police, and then they'll be protected from there. So it depends on what situation I'm encountering at that specific moment. Then you can take the steps from there.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think there's much to add on that. So yeah, that's.
Okay, cool. So, as a community listener, man, like you shared my sister that sometimes it takes a toll on you, right? And then, I wonder, how do police feel or social workers when they hear the stories, right? So since you highlighted that you are both not qualified for this, what sort of help do you receive from your end, like after receiving a story from someone who had been abused or something, right? Where do you go for you to just revent, just speak about your pain? Do you have that special someone
Yes,
Yes, we
yes.
do.
We have mentors. So we have mentors. If you like, you have if someone shares a story on you and now you also feel kind of triggered, so you're supposed to go to your mentor, yeah, just take off the load,
Offload, yeah.
offload,
Our
so
mentors insist on that. If ever you're encountering a story that you feel bad, it's triggering you, it's closer to home, they are always available. You can have one-on-one sessions with them, you can offload to them. Yeah.
And for those who don't have mentors, and so I think for them, for me, there was a time I faced the trauma. It was a serious trauma at the time. I thought like, like I was in Pretoria, Centurion. We were playing in I would say a courtyard. We were in a courtyard, like it's more like here in, like we were playing soccer, né? But there's only one exit. So we saw this is it a, but it's a Volkswagen. Yeah, we saw this cool Volkswagen. It was so cool. Yeah, it came. It was a, was it? Yeah, it was a white Volkswagen. But it's like three gens came off the Volkswagen, and I saw them, like we were playing soccer, and these guys, they came and they were speaking. I think they were speaking Pedi. And they were like, yeah, phones, I think, but I couldn't understand them. I was the only one who didn't understand them. Like what were they saying? At first, like I thought, okay, maybe like they knew each other. But as time goes by, I could see, okay, this one is panicking, and this other one was like, he was shaking, and I knew like there's something wrong. And then they started like, they pulled out their guns, and I was gun pointed since I was so relaxed, and now I started panicking, and also because I was like, what's going on there? Because the guy was continuously speaking pity, like no, yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the guy. What was the guy saying? So in my mind, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna die. This guy might pull the trigger right now. So like maybe this guy is saying, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm shooting you right now. I was I was so scared because I didn't understand like, what was going on, what the guy is saying. Because also in that courtyard, that courtyard is so protected because there were police patrolling, and and it was a suburb place. A very beautiful place. So and also like as the guy was pointing it, as I was gun pointed, like I was like, okay, this is it, this is it. But the guy somehow saw, okay, I wasn't understanding. Like he started like saying, phone. Okay, I was like, I don't know. Like I ended up like speaking closer with the guy, and then the guy like I was like, this one. Then he went to my friend Sean. Yeah, but all of my friends, they were so scared that day because they were like fearing for my life because they knew like it's my first time being there, and like it was fun for me because I was enjoying the place. I was so over the moon. So then boom out of nowhere, and it was the first time like that kind of thing like happening there. So yeah, they were even when I got in my house, I was yeah, I had
Didn't it trauma you?
yeah,
Like you
I
went
was
traumatized?
I was so shocked. I was so traumatized because it was so bad. It was so bad, and I forgot to even mention to you, like as the guy was like pointing the gun on me, like he was like he's speaking and speaking, like somehow I got cheeky, and like I was like because I was getting irritated, né? I was scared but also irritated, so I involuntarily like moved, but I was like I was so, and Sean came to me the same day and was like, next time if someone can point you, you don't have to try to fight back or show us you're brave or you from the trenches. Yeah, they call us the trenches. You see? So like and I was like, this guy, well, I was like, sure, I'm gonna beat you, and but I understood where he from. Like yeah, it was kind of trauma for him also, because somehow I saw, okay, Sean cares, because yeah. So for me, I didn't have anyone to speak to at that time, because I was alone in Pretoria. My whole family was in Cape Town, is in Cape Town. So I only had to sit down with myself, try to control my emotions, and then I think it took a week, not even a week. I'm still like, even now, I'm still, whenever I talk about it, I feel triggered. But yeah.
And one of the things that they encourage us to do, like when you go to our weekly workshops or trainings, they encourage us to go through the whole of emotions, like trying to find the emotion that you're currently feeling and go through it.
Yeah.
If you feel sad, sit with it and cry if you feel like crying. No need for you to bottle it up. Even if you are alone, write it out if you prefer writing it down. Cry if you want to write it down. Go through that whole of emotions. Feel each and every emotion. Is it sadness? Is it hurt? Is it anger? Is it pain? Only then will you be able to deal with it, after you've like sat with it and felt it. Then from then you are going to get out of that hole with a way forward. You're going to cry mhlambi the whole night, and then when you wake up in the morning, your mindset would have changed. Mhlambi, you would have seen like the whole situation from a different perspective. So it's always encouraged for you to feel your emotions. They encourage us to do that. So I think that's what you did,
Yeah,
because
that's what I did.
no one was there, so you felt those emotions.
Yeah, and
you allowed them.
Yeah, it was
to take
truly
over.
helpful.
But then in our culture, we're told, challenges. So how do we shift that mindset?
Can I quickly answer that?
Answer.
We work for breaking beliefs, ne? So one would want to know, what does breaking beliefs like do? The word is self-explanatory. We break the beliefs that we've been taught by the society when we grow up, and one of that is indoda aikali. But as a man and you're feeling sad, why should you not cry? Like, is it gonna take from your masculinity, or you're going to feel better after doing it? So we aim to break those beliefs. We encourage crying. Men should cry. I firmly believe that men should cry.
Yeah, and one thing my brother once said, he said, like, I think he said he thinks the reason why, like, women don't usually, like, women usually die first before women, like, it's because, like, we try to keep those emotions inside us, and like, even when we're stressing, like, we keep it right within ourselves, like, so we don't share it with the world. So that, like, we end up stressing, overworking ourselves, and like, even,
and that also raises the abuse in our societies, because when as a man you contain what you're feeling and you don't cry about something that hurts you, you're going to take out that hurt and that anger into someone else who's better, just to prove your power or to prove how strong you are. Okanye you'll drink or you'll take drugs or whatever. But we should break the beliefs that we have in our society. And Indodaikali is one of those.
Yeah, and we must break that belief
as well. Limiting beliefs that limit us from reaching our full potentials. Because if as a man you would normalize crying once in a while when you feel too much, when you feel overwhelmed, you would navigate through life very, very easier.
So mna is that island itikhala ndoda.
Yeah, so what other beliefs are you trying to change for us as we are speaking, that you are breaking beliefs, and then we are saying men don't cry, meaning men can't cry. You understand? What other beliefs do you want to see the community change, or which other beliefs do you want the community to break?
One being the belief that if you don't go to school, you'll amount to nothing. We have so many successful people who are not educated to the level that the world requires a normal person to be educated, but then they are successful. I believe we should preach self-awareness, be aware with yourself, know yourself, be present with yourself. If we are born about like, okay, I'm passionate in doing this, go for it, because maybe it's where your passion lies is where your money lies. So I think one of that is one of those beliefs. That is one of those beliefs that we are trying to break, and mostly the beliefs that men or boy children should not wear pink or girly colors. For us, we do not believe that.
Yeah, we don't entertain
We
those
do not
beliefs-
entertain
those
those.
beliefs.
Yeah.
So yeah. Beliefs in the city. Eish. I don't know whether I'm being offside or what, but what popped up in my mind is domestication, because you are so domesticated that some of those beliefs, like, what I wanted to say is that you could believe on something, but are you benefiting on it? Like,
From it,
yeah,
yes.
because like you could believe like school is the key to success for you. Like, are you benefiting from
Is it
yeah,
working
is
for
it
you?
working for you? So yeah, we're not saying don't believe on what you want to believe, because
But choose the
yeah.
beliefs that benefit you. Choose the beliefs that are not going to limit your full potential.
Yeah.
Choose the beliefs that are not going to oppress you in any way.
Yeah.